What a wonderful evening, my love.
I couldn't think of a better way to spend these last few months we may have together. We are headed for choppy waters, and I pray our preparations will see us through.
It is so sad to think that this Christmas season staying warm and having something to put in their bellies will be quite a treat for many families. Retailers didn't stock up for the holiday season this summer as they normally do. They know that the US consumer is standing at the end of a plank.
They are only waiting for the sheriff to knock on the door so the bank can sell the home at auction. They can't afford to move to a state that has jobs because the unemployment check only covers the cost of cigarettes, Starbucks, and a trip to the local tavern.
International shipments are stopping according to the Baltic Dry Index. There are massive container ship graveyards forming off the coast of major ports. Many believe some of the container ships might contain advanced placements of Chinese military hardware. They only await troops to unload them.
The Red Dragon knows the US government is a deadbeat. Instead of paying the bills, they open up another box of Monopoly and use the money to pay banker bonuses and hire more government workers.
The American people are ready for a revolution, but the Chinese will probably beat us to it. When your wristwatch is dead and cars are all stopped in the street, you know they detonated a nuclear weapon in orbit. An EMP attack will damage sensitive electronics throughout the continental United States.
No more Twinkie shipments. I have my pitchfork ready. We've got to grow our own food again. Back to the farm, everyone.
Good thing we bought chickens and goats. An egg has all the nutrition we need to live except vitamin C. We can boil pine needles to make a nice broth to keep our teeth from falling out. The Chinese green light to default on silver derivative contracts is a warning shot. This was done respectfully, but history has shown this ancient and wise civilization does in fact reveal their talons if a warning is not heeded.
It's too late for ideas that make sense. The powers will drag us to hell with them before they turn control back over to the people.
Americans are like wet shivering puppies, worried about their credit score as if it defines them as a person. But they can put you on the unconstitutional terror watch list without a conviction. No fly, no buy, no job. And unless you're in a connected class, you can't appeal to have it removed.
Welcome to the fiefdom of the United States of America. If you don't believe it, stop paying your taxes and the Treasury Secretary, contracted by international bankers, will send his IRS goons to drag you away.
The credit bubble attracted an unsustainable number of workers by creating a false sense of growth. It will be a decade before we actually need more floor sweepers and real estate agents.
Our infrastructure is crumbling. It will be much longer than that. We have to actually produce something to recover. Talk of innovation is bollocks. They just sell the technology overseas, and that's if hackers don't find it on a hard drive in Silicon Valley over the internet.
It's like being on a road trip and mom and dad won't tell the kids the engine is running on fumes.
Get ready for a long walk, kids, because mum forgot to charge the cell phone. No more Kool-Aid, and we forgot the sunscreen.
The Vietnam quagmire in Afghanistan has been going on 8 years. They say the war is for the sake of local women. But entire neighborhoods of women are marginalized and kicked aside because they don't have a man in the house. They've all been killed defending their homes from invasions.
That's what the Afghans get for hosting evil airline hijackers that never seem to go away. Why couldn't we just stick with the war on poverty? Instead, constant terror from above. Oh sorry, that was a wedding we just smart bombed. We missed the groom, but we blasted the bride's entire family from the face of the planet. At least the production of opium has multiplied since NATO forces have arrived.
During July and August we were sending home literally 10 caskets a day, wrapped in red, white and blue, to save the Afghan women from the Afghan men. It seems the main problem is people fail to understand the consequences of indifference to their fellow man. We watch citizens that call themselves Republicans and Democrats throw mud at each other instead of at their corrupt politicians.
No matter who is elected, there is not enough change to even buy a loaf of bread. They all have laughs and a champagne toast after the election, no matter who wins.
The healthcare debate is deceptive and really about cattle herding. The problem has always been government-controlled prices and the insurance company middlemen in between doctors and their patients, with 25 paperwork pushers per doctor.
I wonder what the ratio is over at the welfare office. Maybe that's how they get you to take the vaccine for the H1N1 bioweapon. Nothing in the mail today, dear. That's funny. Looks like we need to go in person. They never answer the phone anyway.
Making it a crime to refuse the vaccine will tear the country to pieces. Just look at the list of toxic ingredients. Mercury, formaldehyde, petroleum-based filler. What a paradox and conundrum facing the free people of the United States. To save one's family, you must be prepared to give up everything, up to and including your family.
With all those chemicals, my body will be ready for an open casket ceremony. Maybe they just put me on a bus to the quarantine camps. Don't worry about the change of address, dear. I won't be writing any letters. I'll be too busy trying to stay above room temperature.
They won't allow families to stay together there. It's too hard to manage. Most people will be shocked at how they are treated. The stories of the death camps is unlikely, but there will be a lot of predatory individuals packed in with the good. Ask anyone that wasn't prepared to run from a hurricane and spent time in an elementary school turned shelter.
It's not exactly prison, but it will still be cell block rules. Shut up, we know you are hungry. Come this way, miss. I have something to talk to you about behind this shed over here.
Civil disobedience was used during the military drafts. They don't own your body. You were put in jail, given a large fine. Life goes on. The experimental vaccine is a new twist. You might not make it out alive. Only Satan worshippers could come up with such a plan.
Maybe you'll only turn into a vegetable that your family has to push around in a shopping cart, because it's also the Greater Depression. People forget that it's not one awful event or another we'll have to deal with. It's the fall of Rome. All boats go out with the tide just before the tsunami hits.
Disease control will be primary to survival. Neosporin, rubbing alcohol, and hydrogen peroxide will be non-existent. When the water goes off, you better keep the toilet shut or you'll have a biohazard in the house.
5-gallon buckets, garbage sacks, and a bar of soap will be more valuable than a BMW. You won't be able to just drop the kids off at the pool anymore, if you know what I mean.
We'll have to be careful with whom we shake hands, because America will have a rude reintroduction to many diseases like cholera.
There will be a lot of people wiping their bums with hands because they already used all the pine cones in the backyard.
I was reading today that silver and gold are the most transferable form of value because they last forever, are truly rare, have ornamental and industrial value, and are impossible to duplicate. But it will be years before one can realize their full value in trade. Precious metals will always have value, but they have no utility value when trying to survive.
If you tell your kids about how you plan to pay for their college in coins someday, you'll find the neighbor digging in your backyard when you come back from the breadline. Mum's the word. Hopefully you don't like to brag too much.
And people will discover that gasoline scarcity will also make having a bicycle a priceless investment. Tubes, tires, and lubricant will also be valuable barter items.
Suburbanites will be further away than Siberia once gas skyrockets after an attack on Iran. Hopefully they have extra walking shoes. They'll be all worn out after a couple of months. People just aren't used to walking that much.
But right now people would rather plan their next vacation than how they are going to survive the reality about to cut them in half like a bullet train.
I'll get the check. That was excellent, Pastor. And you just reminded me I need to swing by the gun shop to pick up some common caliber ammunition. Instead of $5, $10, and $20 bills, it will be wheat batteries and baby and feminine hygiene products. Long live those that actually understand the freedom they once enjoyed that was paid for, literally in blood. The point of no return is about to be crossed.